absolutely in a state of we have the Australian taxation social welfare system due to commence on 1 July. The Commonwealth Taxation Office currently on the island will soon be closing. That's been a place where people could go one-on-one to share their concerns and get understanding. The senior citizens, for example, will have to rely on computers and phones to answer their queries, and that is a very distressing thing for especially the senior citizens of our community. But not only the senior citizens, Mr. Average, who's never been exposed, who's never lived in Australia, who's never lived under an Australian or any taxation system, are all of a sudden being confronted with such a change to their world. But Norfolk Island, despite all the concern, the angst, Norfolk Island has resilience on its DNA, and we will rise above this, and we will continue to work towards getting our case heard by the United Nations and for Australia to start to meet its international obligations at international law under the UN Charter. We're sending a letter to the Australian Prime Minister, bringing to his attention the fact that Australia is in breach of its international obligations with the United Nations, and asking it to step up to the plate and take this situation on board, and in the meantime to take steps to put a pause on what is happening until the Special Committee on Decolonisation has had an opportunity to look at Norfolk Island's case.
This letter to the Prime Minister, groups on Norfolk have written to the Prime Minister before. Have there ever actually been any responses from the Prime Minister?
No. And that's regrettable. But however, we're at a pivotal time in Australia's political history. They have a federal election in just 2 weeks' time. We are making approaches to all of the parties to help them understand.